Hello, good morning or good afternoon or whatever time it is where you're at. I think it's still morning here where I am. I'm just at I'm at a park and I'm outside. It's such a beautiful day and I realized that I wanted to get out more. I wanted to be out in the open. I wanted to be under, hear the trees and the birds, and I haven't been doing a lot of self-care lately, so I'll probably do a segment on self-care in the next week or so, in the next couple of weeks. But this week, if you've been checking out any of my blog posts or social media posts, you'll probably see that I've been talking about how to find the right care provider for you. So if you're pregnant or if you're planning your next pregnancy, it's really important to see who your care provider is. Even if you don't have the opportunity to change because of financial reasons or there's no other options available for you, I mean, there's always a choice and there's always a different way, but you may have decided, by going through all of the choices that you're happy where you are. By going through this process, can you hear the birds? If anyone jumps on as well, just give me a love or a like or something so I know you're there. By going through all of your choices, it actually gives you some insight into who you're dealing with and who's supporting you. And I say supporting because your healthcare provider is there to support you. They're there as an expert to provide you with all of the information. They're there to answer any questions that you have, and they shouldn't be rude to you. They should be very supportive. They should be able to have a conversation with you and explain to you the risks involved in whatever it is that they're suggesting or whatever it is that they're suggesting against. And they should be able to give you the risks for both sides. So in our society, in our Western culture, in the hospital system, it's very medicalised. Over the last 100 years or so, it's become very medicalised and very obstetric-led. And I guess there's a bit of a misconception that obstetric care is better care, and I personally felt that way when I was pregnant and I got in with obstetric care because I had gestational diabetes and I got lumped in with obstetric team. And I thought, well, I'm going to go to the best of the best. I'm getting the big dogs, I'm getting the kings of, they're the bosses, right? But unfortunately, I was missing so much information. Number one, I was sitting down with surgeons to discuss that I wanted to have a vaginal birth. And they were just, yep, this is what's going to happen. You're going to be induced. This is what's going to happen. There was no choice. There was no, hello, whoever's popped on. Just send me a love heart. We're talking about providers here. There was no actual discussion with me about my choices or about my options, or discussing why that they were suggesting certain things to me, or allowing me to go and do some research or take away and actually have a think about it. I thought that I didn't have any choices. I thought that I just had to listen to my care provider and do everything that they wanted me to do. And so I did do that with my first baby. And I had a few friends say, but why are you doing that? Why are you getting induced? And, maybe that's not the best way, And I was like, well, I don't need to listen to you because I've got my doctor, they're way more knowledgeable than you. I'm not going to listen to you. And I didn't listen to my friend's advice. And it was only until after the birth that I realised I should have listened. And I should have asked more questions. But I went into each appointment just doing what I was told and being a good girl and trying to prove to them that I was doing really great. I hadn't put on any weight and I was trying to keep my numbers good, and I went to every appointment they told me. I went to every extra scan that they told me to go to, and I think my power is going to die here. And I ended up having a cesarean birth after a failed induction because at 38 weeks, my body wasn't ready and I was being forced into an induction that my body wasn't ready for. Nobody had actually sat down and told me that, this could happen. When they booked the induction, I just thought that I was just going to have a baby that day. I thought my body was just going to have a baby. And nobody had actually said to me, you know what, there's a really high risk that you're going to end up in a cesarean because your body probably isn't ready. Is this something that you want to do? And I was never actually given the option. I just thought this is exactly what I had to do. So I wanted to spread the message about care providers, and have a look at the resources, have a look at the blog that I wrote. It's going to help you find the right care provider for you and the kind of birth that you want, whether that's a vaginal, a natural vaginal, whether that's a planned cesarean, or if you want the option of having an amazing obstetrician who will support you to have a vaginal, but is amazing if you need them in a surgery. Many women want that option, but find the right obstetrician who has a very high has a very high vaginal delivery rate. Because I found out the other day that some surgeons or some obstetricians have a very high cesarean rate of 80 or 90%. So you don't want to get fooled into believing you're going to have a vaginal when, unfortunately, you're going to get led down a path of interventions and end up having a C-section. You may not, if you're not aware of some of the interventions and the cascade of interventions, basically the way that you can end up in a cesarean is medicalised interventions that are not evidence-based or are not necessary all of the time and can end you in another cesarean. I will talk about cascade of interventions another day, but just finding the right care provider who can answer those questions, make you feel really comfortable and safe, is the first step. It's the best first step to having the birth that you want. And a wonderful birth doula in your local area will be able to answer a lot of those questions and help you find the best healthcare provider for you. There's so many different options. There's private midwifery groups that can birth in hospitals and also outside in homes to have a home birth. There's your public hospital, and there's private hospitals. There's so many different options available. So I think my phone's about to go flat, but I just wanted to jump on because I'm having such a wonderful morning down here at the park, and I wanted to jump on and just put it out on video. This is what I'm talking about this week, how to find the right care provider. If you've got any questions and you want to know some answers in regards to anything I've talked about or any of the information I've been sharing, please put your answers in there. I'm here to support you. So if you've got any questions, just let me know and I will do my best to answer them. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.